Today we're going to level up the power in the Campervan with this, the EcoFlow Delta 3 extra battery. So this is the EcoFlow Delta 3 extra battery. Now, if you've seen from our previous videos, we have the Delta 2, which is installed under the double seat here, together with the Alternator Charger, which charges at 800 watts. What do we use the Delta 2 for? We use it for powering our AC appliances. So our coffee machine, the Starlink, which is a generation 3 and therefore still uses the 240 volt system, for charging camera batteries, for charging the drone batteries, for charging most things, but more importantly for Jill to use a hairdryer, to Jill to use her straighteners, and for Jill to use her heated blanket. So they're some of the most important things we use in the van from her point of view. The Delta 2 has its own extra battery, but buying the Delta 2 extra battery meant that it wouldn't fit in the space that was under the seat. The Delta 3 extra battery is smaller than the Delta 2 extra battery, so therefore will fit under the seat, which is why we went for this model. I did do my research, they are compatible, so all good. And shout out to energean.co.uk. we met them at the NEC. They didn't have any stock there, but they had really good prices. I reached out to them and they gave me this one for the same price they were selling them for at the NEC. So let's get this thing open. So it's fairly heavy. I don't know what it weighs. I'll put that on the screen. So let's get this open and we will see what you get in the box. And like I say, I've used EcoFlow for some time now. I'm so happy with the products. This video is not sponsored at all. I just like their products. So you got your packaging, and then you've got a little box there, and then you've got the unit itself. So fairly straightforward. Get rid of the box. So that's the unit itself. So as you can see, that is pretty compact. And in comparison to the Delta 2, it's the height that we needed to get rid of to fit it under the double seat. So what have we got in the box? So in the box we have the link cable. So this is the cable that will attach straight from the port on the side of the battery into the port onto the side of the EcoFlow Delta 2. So you should have a port, there it is there, so that there fits into there, and then you'll have the other end there which will go into your Delta 2, which I will show you very soon. But this port will also allow you to charge this battery through the Alternator Charger also. So a very slim, compact, lightweight unit. Also get your quick start guide, obviously, which takes you how to link it up to your Delta 2 unit or your Delta unit, and then how to charge the extra battery too. So what we're going to do now is we're going to try and hook it up to the EcoFlow app. Now, as I mentioned in the previous video, the EcoFlow app is so intuitive, easy to use, absolutely brilliant. So what we're going to do is we're going to power this on, see how much charge it's got, and see if we can get it into the app so that we can see both the Delta 2 and the extra battery together with the alternator charger all in the same place. So I brought the Delta 2 out from under the double seat just for showing purposes. If we switch that on, it should light up, and it's currently at 97%. Then we've got the new battery there, and that's the port, and you connect this port here into that port there. So what we'll do is we'll connect those up. So now if I go onto the app, we should be able to see a carbon copy of what's on this screen here on the app. So therefore it's outputting 45 watts, and it's outputting, as you can see on the screen there, to the extra battery. So there you go. So we're currently at Delta 2 97%, the extra battery is at 31.49%. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to get both of the units under the seat and connect it up to the alternator charger. First of all, I'm going to connect the extra battery to the alternator charger just so I can test that, make sure that works. And then once that works, then we can try connecting them both up, so we've got to see how we are for room and ventilation, because obviously the ventilation is quite important too. So just before putting the batteries under the seat, I'm just testing that the alternator charger does work with the extra battery, which it does. I'll show you on the app there, show you there, but I'll show you as a screenshot too. So currently charging at 552 watts. Bearing in mind we do have a smart alternator on our van. The extra battery is currently at 35%, so it's going to take, based on the alternator charger charging 552 watts, it would take an hour and 19 minutes. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to take them both inside and charge them through the AC power through the house. So I've brought the units inside so I can charge them on the AC from the house power. So you can see there, you see that it's at 96%, 0 input, 0 output, but I have connected the cable to the extra battery, and then you can see in the app that the Delta 2 matches to the 96%, and the extra battery is at 36.29%. So now if I switch the power on to charge, you can see on the app that the output is 408 watts and the input is 1 kilowatt, which is basically meaning that the input into the Delta 2 from the plug socket is 1 kilowatt, and then the output, so from the Delta 2 into the extra battery, is 551 watts. So again, if you go to your extra battery, you can see there it's going to take 17 minutes to charge the Delta 2, and then 1 hour 13 currently. What I'm assuming is that once the Delta 2 is charged, it will use a higher output to charge the extra battery and just keep the Delta 2 maintained. Whether that happens or not, we'll check back later.
A few minutes later,
you can see that the input is 1 kilowatt and the output is 940 watts, and the combined percentage total for both batteries is 72.49%. So the majority, in fact all of the power now, is going to the extra battery, and that is because the Delta 2 is currently at 100%. So you can see the extra battery time, 41 minutes it takes to charge it to 100%, has gone down dramatically. So what it's done, it's quite clever, it's shifted the power from the Delta 2 and increased the output straight into the extra battery so that it charges quicker with a higher output of 954 watts as it is now.
many minutes later.
So you can see now as we're coming to the end of the charge cycle for both, the input has dropped to less than 500 watts now, with 440 watts going across to the extra battery. So as you can see, we're nearly at 100%. You can just hear there it's just powered down. where it just tops it up to 100, and then what we'll do is we'll put the batteries back in the van, connect everything up, and we're ready to go. So this is the area under the seat where everything's going to go. You can see there the cable for the alternator charger, which fits into both the Delta 2 and the Delta 3 extra battery. So we'll get things into place and we'll see how they all fit. So that's the Delta 2 and the Delta 3 extra battery, all fitted nicely under the double seat. Plenty of space on each side and in between the units. And then we've got this ventilation cover. We've got the alternator charger, which is handy for both the battery connection and the Delta 2 connection should it be needed. So I'll just tuck that in there. And then this ventilation cover is magnetic, so it just goes back on like that. And then a topward view, you see, I mean the Delta 2 just fits under there, then you can just see the extra battery just straight down there. Both connected. And then we've got both 3-pin plugs, USB extension from the back of the EcoFlow Delta 2, and another one there, which is what we normally use for electric hookup. So it's not connected to the Delta 2 at the moment, but it can be. So that's it, installed. So the Delta 2 under the seat as was, with the alternator charger which can charge at 800 watts, now accompanied by the EcoFlow Delta 3 extra battery. So doubling the capacity, doubling the time that we run our devices from those units. Just as an adage, the B2B charger on this van, which is fitted by Adria, it's a shout system. One of the plugs is burnt out, so we don't have battery to battery charging at the moment. We did take it into the dealer. They're going to look at it, even though the van is out of warranty, they're going to look at it doing the work in warranty, because these are plugs that have melted, which obviously should not have happened at all. So we're waiting for the parts to come in for that. Hopefully we'll get that repaired. But in the meantime, we are looking to upgrade to the Victron Orion 50 amp battery to battery charger, bypassing the control unit that is in the Adria van. But that'll be for a future video. Got more videos of me and Jill on our travels very soon, including the NEC, including the forest drive through Kielder, and a lovely camper air in Jedburgh on the borders into Scotland. Subscribe. Any comments, any questions, any advice, put it in the comments below, and we'll see you on the next one.